everyone, welcome back to my channel. Tonight is actually going to be about the old Bryce Hospital in Northport, Alabama. Tonight is also my second cousin's birthday, so happy heavenly birthday, Belinda. I love you so very much. And she loved asylum stories and so did I, and we just bonded over that. So I thought tonight, would be very appropriate for tonight's story about the old Bryce Hospital. I'm going to talk about the history and my personal visit there. I've actually been to the old Bryce Hospital. I've even been on the rooftop, and let's just say it's not as scary feeling as everyone thought. Now I think the Jemison Center, which was actually, I've heard it used to be a little school, or it was also for the geriatric patients. I'm not sure, but so that's what it's going to be about tonight. So let's get started. So the plans for the old Bryce Hospital actually began in 1852. By the 1830s, activists Thomas Kirkbride and Dorothea Dix. They're like activists for the mental health, and they thought that the United States should be more involved in mental health. So the construction began in 1853 and actually completed in 1859. The old Bryce Hospital opened in 1861, and the hospital got its name from Peter Bryce. He was the first superintendent for the hospital, and so he was actually a medical student. After he died, they named the hospital after him, Peter Bryce. So now it's called the old Bryce Hospital. There's a new Bryce Hospital, and that is why we call it the old Bryce Hospital. In 1967, Miss Lurleen Wallace was the wife of the governor, Mr. Wallace. She actually visited the hospital in 1967, and in 1970, Alabama was actually ranked last in the mental health department. But in 1967, Miss Wallace saw how the conditions were. It was bad, like there was urine everywhere, and the urine was soaked in like blankets and pillows that like the patients had and everything, and like even the nurses were sleeping on the floor and everything. And then eventually everybody was let go because funding was cut, and it was very bad conditions. And then they started to do like the hydrotherapy, and there's actually a story of a little boy who actually had to go through hydrotherapy. And if you don't know what hydrotherapy is, it's you're like locked in this tub, and it's like ice cold, and there's like a sheet that's like tough to get out, so you're like this in ice cold water, and you're in there for a couple of minutes. So the boy was in there for a couple of minutes like almost every day, just about, and he kept fighting the nurses and everything. And finally a nurse ducked him underwater and until he drowned. And so there's been stories of seeing a little boy running around at the old hospital. And when I went there, like I said, I didn't feel anything wrong. It was more peaceful at the main building. I guess the hospital itself and everything. There was a fire there, and so there's a lot of vandalism as well. But I guess the fire set them free. There's always this theory of burning like Ouija boards, so it sets, all the spirits free and everything. And so that's my theory on why I don't feel anything there, because usually I can feel things. But when I went to the Jemison Center, I guess is what it's called now, but I felt a lot of tension and anger and confusion, and it just wasn't sitting right with me. I actually wanted to leave as fast as possible, but I felt freeing and more open at the Bryce Hospital itself, and even just walking down the road with the trees, you know, on each side, it was peaceful and beautiful. And then they had this, you know, thing in the middle, but everything is like grassed over, so it doesn't look as nice as it used to. But I will say though, it really creeped me out at the nursing home is what I'm trying to call it, but I keep forgetting. But yeah, the nursing home was actually very creepy. Even like at the where they do procedures and stuff, there's like this big light and everything, but which I've seen a lot. I've even seen mini lights in the clinic that I work at, but this thing was huge and it was just creepy. I kept thinking of like, ugh, I don't know what all has happened here. There's a lot of death there, and I guess not a lot of spirits were freed there. I don't know, but I got a lot of sense of tension and everything. And I've actually been to, I think it was the filing room where they kept all the files, and it was there at the nursing home. And it was just interesting because when I was looking up pictures to insert for you guys to show you the rooms that I've been in, I actually saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been in there. Like, I didn't even know that was where they kept the files, but there were no files in that room. Everything is, you know, just breaking down, I guess. But I didn't really look either. Like, it was dark and it was at night. And so I've actually been also where they ate and everything, and where they danced. I will post pictures of the rooms that I've been in. Apparently, I think it was at the nursing home, but there was this preacher's son, and he actually visited there because he owns a funeral home and someone died, and he always goes there to pick up patients. And the orderly nurse told him, like, don't go to this specific room at the end of the hallway, and she didn't tell him why, but apparently the patient was possessed. And well, unfortunately the room he had to go to was at the end of the hall, but this one was at the right side. And so he heard like animal-like noises, and he was just curious. He couldn't really see through it was like a little window. So he walked up to the window, didn't listen to the orderly or anything like that, but he looked through there, I guess out of curiosity, and there's this woman making animal noises, and she was running around the room, but it wasn't on the floor. It was kind of on the walls, like her feet are up on the walls, like running on this. And he was watching her just run around, and she finally stopped, looked at him and stared at him, and she just had this like dark eyes, long black hair that was kind of like straggly, like falling out type thing. I don't know, but so they made eye contact, and she like, I don't know, the description of this is just creepy, but she like, you know, jolted towards the door, towards the window that he was looking through, and in this weird non-human like way. So she started saying like his family members, like, I'm very aware of, you know, your dad. I know him very well. I remind you, his dad is a preacher. But she started naming all these like family members and everything. And well, I forgot to mention that the preacher's son came there with an assistant to get the body. So the assistant came out of the room as all this was happening, and the assistant was like, we gotta go, let's go. And then finally the preacher's son screamed, and everyone came rushing, and the assistant grabbed him away from the door, and she was fighting. Now we're back to the patient. The patient was fighting like apparently 4 bigger men, and nobody knows who she was or anything like that. So I don't know any identity towards the patient, but even if I did, I would keep her name out of this video because I don't want to disrespect anyone or anything like that. But I never got that sense of feeling. So maybe when she passed, everything else passed. I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't feel anything demonic like that when I went to the nursing home, but just a sense of fear, confusion, stuff like that. But it's illegal to go, so don't go. But I think University of Alabama now owns it, and they're redoing some of the wings and everything like that. So yeah, that's it for that. I would advise not to go. You'll get arrested. We went at night, and it was during October, which is a big no-no because that's when everybody goes. That's when the cops are really starting to patrol around. But like I said, I think it's owned now by the University of Alabama, so I wouldn't go at all. But apparently Governor Riley or something, Governor Bob Riley moved the old Bryce moved. He relocated it, and now we call it the new Bryce. I've never been there. I don't really even know where it is, but so that was interesting to me, and it took me forever to find the haunting stories because I don't know, it used to be on the Wikipedia page, but now I'll have to go to this blog to read it. I will actually put the link below, and so that was interesting. It's a local story, so that was interesting to me. So also when I was editing yesterday's video, I noticed a little dot, and I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube to study all that kind of stuff, and I talked about a Ouija board and everything, so it might have given me the sign to just not talk about those no more. But no, but in all seriousness, I'm actually filming on my phone, so that's why I keep looking up here, because I keep thinking the camera's up there, but it's right there. But so we'll see how this goes. But if you like it, just like the video, you can subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. You don't even have to like it, you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to comment. This is all for fun, local history, and I'll actually put down a link of Tuscaloosa Archives. It'll have all the media stuff, newspapers, articles and stuff like that from the patients. If you want to read them, if you don't, that's fine too, but they're very interesting. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, but I hope you guys like it and have fun. Just have fun with it. That's it.